Hey everyone, Sam here from Sugar Spun Run, and today I'll be showing you how to make Carmelitas. If you've never had a Carmelita before, you are totally missing out. These decadent cookie bars are made with a creamy, melty caramel and milk chocolate center and are encased by a slightly crisp cookie shell on either side. I think you guys are going to love this recipe, so let's go ahead and get started. The first thing you'll want to do is preheat your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Next, we'll prepare our butter. You're going to need to melt 3/4 cup or 1.5 sticks of unsalted butter. You'll want to do this first to give your butter some time to cool before we add it to our other ingredients. So melt your butter and we'll set that aside, and now we can prepare our dry ingredients. You will need 1.25 cup of all-purpose flour for this recipe, and you'll want to place it in a large bowl. We'll add 1 cup of old-fashioned rolled oats. You don't want to use instant oats for this recipe, and we'll add that to our flour. And we'll add 3/4 cup of tightly packed light brown sugar as well. Next, add a 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda and a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. We'll want to stir this together until all of our ingredients are nicely combined. Now grab your slightly cooled butter and we will add a teaspoon of vanilla extract to that. And just stir that together real quickly until it's combined. Pour that into your dry ingredients. And give everything a nice stir until we have a well-combined cookie dough. Now you'll want to grab a 9x9 baking pan, and I use a metal baking pan. If you want to use a glass one, that's fine, but keep in mind that you will probably need to bake everything a little bit longer, as glass pans tend to take a little bit more time. I like to line this with parchment paper, and make sure that you use enough parchment that it hangs over the sides, because later on we're going to want to lift these cookie bars out of the pan and cut them. It's going to make it a lot easier if we have some parchment paper hanging over the sides. We'll want to grab our cookie dough and we're going to press just half of this batter into the bottom of this pan. It's really just enough so that you can cover the bottom with an even layer. This is going to be our cookie crust for our Carmelitas, and it does not need to be thick. As you can see, I'm spreading the layer pretty thinly and evenly with my spoon. And you want to press this into the edges of the pan, but you don't want to press it up the sides of the pan. And you can grab more cookie dough as needed just to make sure that you get the whole bottom of the pan covered. Now we are going to bake just this cookie bar crust layer in our 350 degree Fahrenheit oven for about 8 to 10 minutes. We are baking it just until it turns the lightest shade of golden brown. We will let that bake, and meanwhile we are going to head over to our stovetop and we're going to prepare our caramel filling. For this caramel filling, you're going to need 35 unwrapped caramels, and then we'll add a 1/2 cup of heavy cream. Turn your stovetop to a medium-low heat and stir frequently until the caramel is completely melted. Now set this caramel aside until your cookie layer base is finished baking. Once that first layer has finished baking, do not turn off your oven. Leave it on 350 degrees Fahrenheit. We're going to need it again in just a minute. We are going to now add 1 1/3 cups of milk chocolate chips on top of this cookie layer. Just sprinkle them evenly over the crust. And now is where the caramel comes in. You'll just want to pour this evenly over the cookie bar layer. Now grab that other half of cookie dough that we made earlier, and you're going to use your hands to scatter this evenly over the top of the Carmelitas. This is going to be your upper cookie crust. As you can see, I'm kind of crumbling this cookie dough in my hands, and I'm just pressing it over the surface of the caramel. This does not need to completely cover the top of the Carmelitas. Now that you have that top crust on your Carmelitas, we will return these to our 350 degree Fahrenheit oven, and we'll cook the bars for about another 18 to 21 minutes. You want the top to be slightly golden brown to know that they're finished. Once your Carmelitas have finished baking, you're going to need to let them cool completely before you can cut into them. This is going to take at least 1 or 2 hours, and just let them cool completely in the baking pan. Once they have finished cooling, that's when our parchment paper is going to come in handy, because we're going to be able to easily lift these out of the pan. And it's going to make cutting into them such a breeze. All right, now we can dig in. Can you guys see how amazing that looks? We've got our gooey caramel, our melty milk chocolate, and that delicious cookie bar. I think you guys are going to love this recipe. I really hope you will try it out, and please leave me a comment, let me know what you think. I always appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.